Let me be honest with you. I like insurance, but I love the insurance business. Now, some people love insurance. That's fine. But for those that love the insurance business, insurance is not going anywhere. It's the business part that we're lacking in. So those that got into insurance business, majority of us would say we got into the insurance business for financial freedom. Everybody say it. All the books, there's a million of books out there about entrepreneurship and financial freedom. Once again, like I said, we're family. I'm just like you. I'm not an uptight person. I'm laid back. So I like to be transparent with you. If you're not financial and you're not free, how's it working for you? That's the reason why we got into business. To be financial and to be free. That is why I designed this program. And I'm hoping it inspires others to do the same. That's why I designed this program, to help agency owners get back to the reasons they got into the insurance business. Help them get financial and help them be free. I'm not going to talk about that financial part. You have to join the masterclass. We talk about real numbers, not this fabricated business plan to get your contract. You need to focus on the real business plan. Click the link on the right or in the subject field, get enrolled in the masterclass. There's 7 days in a week. Most agency owners, not everybody, but most of us, especially those in the beginning stages, are working 5 to 6 days a week. I hope nobody's working 7 days a week. But if you are, it is what it is. Let's look at it. 7 days in a week. You're spending 5 days in the office. That's leaving 2 days of freedom. Remember, you say you want to get in this business, financial freedom. Now people are going to say, well, that means to be able to do what you want to do financially. Well, you can do what you want to do financially in corporate. You want to be financial and you want to be free. You have 2 days of freedom. So I'm going to give you a trade secret right now, how you can increase your freedom 20%. More time for you, more time for your family, more time for your passions and purpose. You ready for this trade secret? Never work another Friday in your life. Oh, I know that stinks. But that's a decision I made. I've decided, just think about it. If you're getting the same result that you've been getting for 3 years, 5 years, 15, 20, 30 years, and you're not willing to do any of the stuff that I'm talking about, or you're not willing to attempt to enroll into the master class, and you got in this business for financial freedom, you're not financial, or maybe you're financial, but you're not free because your agency is holding you hostage, take some of your life back. I challenge you. Get your agency running that is not dependent on you missing 1 day. You'll be surprised how better you feel. You're not punishing your clients. That's another thing, outside force systematically to make you feel bad about pursuing your passion. Get things in place so you can take your life back. Increase that personal time for yourself so you can be a better agency owner for your clients and your staff. Oh, I know what's running through your head. Friday is my busiest day. I can hear it right here through the screen. And it might be for some of you. Then choose Monday. Choose Monday. I prefer Fridays. Choose Monday. Oh no, now you're thinking, well, I can't do that because that's the second busiest day. Now we're getting back to the same result, which you know what they say. Take your life back. in this masterclass, we talk about systems in place so you can have your life back. No other franchise. No, this is not a franchise, but it's almost a franchise. No other franchisee is giving the franchise 80% of their life. It's a business. Okay, I want to speak about something else that I get a lot of questions on, and that's staffing. Doesn't matter where you're at in the country, how long you've been around, what company you represent. We know that staffing is a big issue. Now, we can have a complete whole program and training on just staffing. And in my masterclass that you can enroll in today, I give detailed insight and methods on finding, recruiting, and training high-performing sales producers. But I want to just give you a few tips right now. Staffing is a big issue, and it normally boils down to two things. Do you hire licensed experienced producers, or you hire somebody without any experience? Now, when I got in this business, the training I received was not to hire experienced licensed agents because they bring bad habits and they're set in their ways. And I received the same advice from tenure agents. And I understand what they're saying, there's truth to it, but it's not the case for every person. If you've been operating under that premise and you're getting the same result, well, Einstein told you what that is. I'm challenging you to be smart. Try something different. Everybody's not bringing bad habits with them. Some of them are bringing the good habits that they developed over the years. They say that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I challenge them. I say, well, maybe you can't teach a new dog any tricks. The same with a licensed person. You hire them, there's no guarantee that they'll be able to do what they did at the previous agency. In fact, if they bounced around too much, well, that's a red flag. The point I'm making is no one can tell you either way. The true answer is you're going to have to meet a lot of people, you're going to do a lot of interviewing, and a lot of hiring. There's no way getting around it. Me personally, I look for people with a track record of big numbers. It can either be sales, it can be insurance, it can be door to door, it could be selling encyclopedias door to door. First thing I'm looking at, consistency, not a lot of jobs, sales experience. But I'm not going to overlook somebody that's licensed and have experience in insurance because I'm targeting to cram all this activity in the first 20% of my career, or I'm trying to concentrate growth in a smaller time frame. Then of course I don't have a lot of time to see if insurance is something you want to do. So I'm going to favor hiring experienced agents. If you plan on hiring people that is not licensed, you need to have a very systematic onboarding and training program. The training program that's offered through the sponsor is the sponsor's training program. I'm talking about your training program. You need to take this person, introduce them to the insurance world, into your sponsor's world, and into your world before you even let them go out and represent you and the company that you represent. Let me give you some real life scenarios in my agency. So I hired a young lady almost 2 years ago for customer service. She came in, I had no intentions of transitioning her to sales. And she came in, did an excellent job customer service. Matter of fact, my goal was maybe for her to be the office manager, because she had a track record, a history of administrative work. And she came and did an excellent job. About 4 months later, she said, Steve, I think I can sell. I mean, I know I can sell. I just, we just haven't discussed it. And we talked about it for a few weeks. And she said, I think I want to sell. And I told her, that's fine. I'll be happy to train you. But I told her, when you transition to the sales side, there is no coming back. And she made that transition. And the testimony about her is no insurance experience, didn't have a license, came in customer service, got her license on her own. That's a key point. And she has broken one of the records for new business in our agency. She wrote $100,000 in personal lines in 1 month in less than 18 months of insurance experience. Now, I give you the flip side. I hired a young man that had insurance experience, been around the business 5 or 6 years, had a track record of big numbers. We had dialogue, we interviewed several times. He came over, didn't know anything about the company I represent. His first month in the agency, he did $50,000. I have stories for each side. But the only thing I'm challenging you with is, if you're getting the same result of what you've been doing, try something different. Since we're speaking about staffing, there's another thing I want to discuss that I receive a lot of questions on. And it's just in a lot of our discussions, let's be honest. Do we pay for a candidate's license or we don't? Let me ask you this. For someone to teach, they have to get a degree. And we know how much college costs. We know how much the investment is to get that degree. Now, the typical teacher here in the South is around $45,000 to $50,000. And a decent producer generally should make around $40,000 to $50,000. Now, the investment for that degree to teach is $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. The investment to be an insurance agent is less than $1,000. I believe that I should not be making the investment in your lifetime career choice. You need to have some skin in the game. See, the problem with a lot of us is we make the candidates feel like it's a privilege for the candidate to give us the opportunity to hire them. Where in fact, the privilege is you extending the opportunity for them to work for you. This is what you need to do to work here, not what I need to do for me to hire you. I'm going to give you a little story. I remember, and this is when I transitioned and realized that the privilege is on this side, not on the other side of the desk. When a lady came to my office, and she had the background, she had the experience. Now, she was heavy on the service side, so really I wasn't that attracted to the candidate, but she had the experience. The agent she was working for was retiring. She didn't have really a need to leave, but time was up. She was high energy. She showed a track record of doing small numbers, but she was doing numbers. Out of that hour interview, which is too long, interview should not go over 45 minutes, but we'll talk about that in masterclass. In fact, sign up for it right now. It's on the right of your screen or it's in the subject field. Back to the story. We spent an hour at that interview, and I promise you, 50 minutes of that hour was her interviewing me, asking questions about my agency and all this stuff, and I entertained it. Now, this is before I really start making the transition to big numbers. It's not a privilege for me to hire you. It's a privilege for you to work here. In the moment that we begin to show that desperation, you lose every time. So I made a choice. If I'm not going to hire on my terms and do it how and when I want to, I'll walk away from this thing. because I've seen the desperation time after time after time, only for the agency owner to get the same result. And you know what Einstein said about that. It's a privilege to work for you. And you have to make your agency reflect that opportunity. And I'm not going to pay you to lure you to come here. You make the investment to become a part of this club as agencies, as you make the investment to become a part of this club as a licensed agent. And that's a requirement to be here. That's just my tip to you. There are some circumstances I've done it in the past, but I promise you, 9 out of 10 times when I've done it and the people around me had made that investment, it went in the same place that magic bullet did, in the foot. So that's another tip I wanted to give you. All right, we're getting close to the time. Trust me, this is not even, I'm really talking about things that I don't talk about in the masterclass, really. There's a lot more other things that we discuss, but these are things that I casually discuss. But I want to give you something for taking your time out. But I would love for you to be in our next master class right here in Atlanta. And like I said, because you are taking your time out to participate in this webinar, you're going to save $200. Click the link to the right of the screen or in the subject field. Get enrolled. Seats are limited. No games about it. It's a smaller place. That is how it's designed. I've done these classes before. If it gets over a certain number, it becomes a distraction. The other thing I want to tell you, this is just friend to friend, agent to agent. And I want to give you a side note. I really want agency owners to fulfill their purpose and live out their dream. Well, look, I enjoyed this webinar. I want to do a Q&A. But let's be clear. I'm opening an opportunity to be an open book to give you details. I studied from some of the greatest agency owners, sales leaders, marketers in the country, so you won't have to. I'm going to give you all the trade secrets that I use in my agency. Some of the things I used to do, I'm just not at a place to do them anymore because it requires for me to work those 5 days. But it might work for you. I have techniques that will literally cost you $0. You need to be at this masterclass. I don't know how long I'm going to do this. Save $2. Make the investment. Do your research. This is over $9,000 of value. I'm going to be committed to you for 6 months. I made the investment in becoming a certified coach to make sure that I spend time with you and we work as an alliance to help you reach your goals. Click the link that you see on the right of your screen or in the subject field. Get in this class. Grow your agency. Learn something. You've been buying and trying different marketing campaigns, lead campaigns, telemarketing campaigns, only to get the same result. I enjoyed it. I'm going to open up for Q&A. It's going to be very short. I gave you a lot, but the truth is, I really need you to be in that masterclass. All right. Once again, this is Steve Compton. This is Agency Evolution.